Hello and welcome back to Disc Days Cologne 2023. Thank you for joining our international language stream. We've got a great matchup for you here. Under 24 women's German national team taking on the German Masters national team. Quite a lot of national team presence here in Cologne. So Germany showing off the best that they have to offer, especially in the women's division, but also in the open division, of course. Shall with the poll for Germany under 24. And they're coming out with some matchup defense to start off this game. Puck goes up into the hands of an under 24 player. And they're already with their first break chance. Big disc to challenge. He's going to put it out into space. But he's underneath it, and that's a break to start the game for the under 24 side. Quick work. So this is Swiss draw round 5. As the women's division is a bit smaller, the organization decided not to have a bracket, but to play a Swiss draw format, which means you get a new opponent every round that approximately is your direct opponent in terms of performance. So all the scores and all your results will be put into the system, and you get the results from this. So big pull will be collected and the big mark. And another direct block by the German under 24 side. And they're knocking on the doorstep of their end zone. Inside shot will be caught for a second goal. A very good start for the under 24 women. You can see that they are really clicking now. It's the second day of their first tournament together, and that probably already does make a difference. You see that inside shot, well done, put into the zone by Schall. See that on the second day of a tournament, people already click a little bit more. They know each other, and they've established some connections that they can build up on going into World Championships this year. Well, that's what under 24 women and men's sides are preparing for, the World Championships in Nottingham, in England, this summer. And a very good pull that lands in the end zone to pick it up from there. Germany finally gets some. Germany Masters finally gets some movement. But again, the disc not precise enough and tight coverage from the under 24 side. and adding a bit, and a big hook goes up. That's floaty and a lot of bodies underneath it. Valiant effort, but Master side get their break back, get the opportunity to hold, stop that break, but that hook a little bit too far out in front. Ava Mueller, the disc into the middle. A very open player in the middle of the field. Good coverage. Not a lot of options, and then finds someone, but the disc is pushed to the ground, and that looks like it's a bit too much. It was a bit too much touching of the hand while the disc was sitting there. So that was triple stalled, accepted, and the reset works. Big disc goes up into the end zone and caught this time around for the score. 3-0 in favor of under 24 women. You see a replay here. That disc perfectly into space. So we see the Germany under 24 side with a bit of a better start. Some of these players have been in the German national team programs for ages. So a lot of experience, even though a very young age. Probably not as much experience as his master's side for the most part. They've definitely changed their offensive setup as well. That's why they're so much better in composure now. And Billy with a big sky over 3 people to get the first score in for the Masters side. You could see that they've switched the very static offensive setup that they just had to play more dynamically and more flow offense and create something off of that, and that worked very well for them. Once you're off to the races, and so much harder to stop. Big disc into the air. First offensive possession, offensive point for Germany here. Germany under 24, that is. And an immediate mistake that will give the Masters an opportunity to get one of the breaks back, and big disc goes up. Billy underneath it again. Can she do it twice? That defender was positioned too well. The player isolated in the middle of the field. And that disc, again, a miscommunication. It's Germany a red zone. So Isolation in front of the end zone. Tight coverage, but a reset is played. And a big break goes up. Just in and out of the hands of the intended target. Oh, and an immediate hack by Mueller. And put up into space again. That is floating for a long time. Not quite long enough. So what looked really very clinical from the under 24 side became messy real quick. Nonetheless, they have a red zone opportunity here and a quick pickup for the score. A bit of a miscommunication on the coverage, I would say, since the main handler was very open, but works nonetheless. For under 24s to get up by 3. See a very good, quick pickup by Mueller and immediately recognized by the cutter. Back with some drone footage for you here. Now I already thinking about the deep shot going up the line instead. Now the continuation goes deep and that disc trails out the side. It was a very well timed cut, but just trailing edge leading towards the camera rather than the player that it was intended for. Schall picking up on the sideline, looks for an option, finds the reset in the middle. Good switch of position of field position here. Nice flow cutting. In their offense, but pick stops play. A big put out into space. Schall with the recognition that it was an open player, but the 13 shirt just a little too hasty with that continuation. Another big disc, this time around trailing with the right side, and a score for Germany Masters. Great put into space. 3 defenders around the disc, but great positioning from the Masters player. See a drone replay here. Three people within the perimeter of that deep shot. The defenders, rather. But great positioning and a very well deserved hold for Germany Master. Reimann to Blum. Inside shot that is perfectly put into space, and now they're looking end zone. Still positioned well in the middle of the field. Reimann neglects a very, very open player. And the hard release pass goes into the end zone. A beautiful put again on the yeah, maybe a bit of a contested shot. Many bodies underneath it, but very good body positioning and reeled in by Banquets.
So, wir machen das einfach weiter so. Das ist nicht einfach für die, da rauszukommen. Schön nah dran sein und kämpfen. Wenn wir die Scheibe haben, einmal durchatmen. Offen. Okay. Also wir haben offen schon wieder. Ist ein Ding. Spielen.
Mhm.
Eigentlich die Route auf der 1.
German Masters plays wanting to call the defense, but that they had offense. So it's a bit of a benefit when you actually speak the language of the teams. You can listen in with their calls. Good reset and continuation to the break side. Very static stack and no reset available. But they've seemed to really found their rhythm, and that is a perfect hold for Germany Masters. Very well done from their side to use the field, full field, and move it from one side to the other and gain some yards to put it in the end zone. See that inside shot, beautiful stuff. Little score. The big pull that will land just inside the field. Good position placement. And that shot a bit overcooked. And a break opportunity that is very much needed on the Germany Masters side as they are trailing by 2. And the shot goes out into the end zone. 4 players underneath it, but the defender gets the better of it this time. Inside shot. And the travel is called, but too excited. Didn't really look where to go. reset is paired onto, and a full switch of field position by Germany. I really like the way they set up their offense. Reimann with the huck and an immediate goal for Germany to hold. Lukas with the score. Well collected by her, and I think the throw was Reimann, a player that definitely has a lot of international experience with the German national team. And I do think that many of these women playing on the field are European champions from 2017 and have a lot of international or national team experience together as well. So they know each other well already, which shows that at least some of them have been playing together frequently for 5 years, 6 years, or even longer. Big disc goes up, but there's a pick, so it has to be caught, or does it? Discussion on the field about the pick that way earlier than the throw in the end. The discussion about what happens because if a pick is caught, then the disc is not caught. It is a turnover. On the other hand, it was a third throw in a row after the pick was called, so quite some time after that call. But players will discuss and find a solution together. And I think the solution is a turnover in favor of the under 24 side. Bit of confusion still. Not no clear structure to be seen, but a big just goes up to the middle of the field, and now they're finding their position just in front of the end zone. Schall into a very open player just in on the end zone line. Schütz with the goal, and Germany under 24 with a commanding lead of 4 points over the Masters side. So games today are far longer. Games are 70 minutes today. They were 55 minutes yesterday. It seems like a timeout. We see a very big difference in squad size, roster size. 11 women on the Masters squad,
Nee, sehr, sehr sicher.
maybe double the amount of players on the under 24 side. That's very impressive. They're really running with them, but they too will already show legs getting a bit heavier, harder to run. And it looks like a zone set up by the under 24 side. Big disc goes up into the hands of Shan. And the under 24 side are just in front of the end zone again. Looking for an option. Star count is high and disc over the top. Bailout shot caught by Pfister. Wasn't really any good reset option to be hit. So the player had to go over the top, but did that very well. Well done by Pfister to get that in, and that is halftime 8-3 in favor of the under 24 side.
Machst einfach alles gerade bleiben. Mach nochmal einen.
So the under 24 side even gets offense here to start the second half. I haven't seen too much of their O-line yet. Mueller really commanding that O-line. Beautiful put into space, really directing traffic. Oh, and this time around, that disc only hits the ground and a big hack goes up. But too much spice on it, released a bit too early. Not into the direction of the intended target. Under 24, Germany has to go the full size of the pitch, but they can do that with one single throw, but just not quite enough air underneath it. Good inside shot into space and back to the main handler here. Oh, and a lovely put over the top and immediate deep shot that follows. It's really far off in terms of field position because It is approximately, what might that be, like 8 meters, even maybe even more behind the back of the end zone line. Not so sure what the structure on that host deck was for the under 24 side, but they managed to get it out of that coffin corner. They were pinned. Now looking for an option and going around the field, close to the sideline, but manages to keep her feet in bounds. Giving and going, the switching the field side again, and a disc put up, and that's collected just in front of the end zone. Sticky fingers to hold on to that, and a very open, absolutely free player will punch in the quick goal for Germany under 24. Under 24 in this 6-point lead. The Masters side will try and hold on to whatever they can and get back into this game. But looking at the stats and also at the fact that there are far less players, it'll be a very daring thing to do. But the disc is on the ground again and will be put into play for the German under 24 side. On a reset, but a bit of a miscommunication. Who to cut where? That will be cleaned up for the score for Germany under 24s. Farka. That goal, Farka gets that goal for the German under 24 national team. Germany Masters back on offense. On a run through block by Pfister. The discussion about a foul will be contested and the disc will go back. And this time around, the defense is positioned far better. And they give it right back to them here. To the master side. Very deep stack. Can't even see players anymore. They're just now coming back into our vision. Some drone footage for us to see all the players on the field far better. You can see the structure is not quite clear. I do think they're working out of a vertical stack, putting players into a position to get scores deep, and that's exactly what they did here. And that's a hold for Germany Masters, a much needed point. The score is still 10-4 in favor of the under 24 side. Discussions whether the pull was in or out of bounds when it hit. But players agree it was out of bounds, so started the brick mark. That disc just right through the grasp of Frankfurt's, and Germany Masters get an opportunity for a break. Redeeming herself, though, is Bankers with defense. And Mueller picking up again. Very static from the stack, but that's not gonna matter for them as they put the disc in for the score. Lyman with the goal. Thrown by Gnefa. You see some drone footage from the Olympic Stadium in Cologne. Going very high up now. And the zone played by Germany under 24s. I do get that they want to practice that as well, but I do think they worked very well with their matchup defense. And there are a lot of very open players on the other side of the field. The wind, there was windy conditions yesterday, but it seems like they have stopped. Oh, and there's a drop that will give the disc to the under 24 side. Seems like that zone is very effective after all, creating a turn. Forget I ever said anything. Big gainer for that deep continuation and put it into the end zone right away is Pfister. And Schall with the score. See what we play here. Nice inside shot hitting Schall in the end zone. Charlotte Schall, of course, a player who is currently playing her season with Bologna. Shout, the European champions. So we can expect her to do many great things internationally for the women's side here from Germany, but also for the European club team she's playing with. She'll stay on the field as well to pull. And they're back with the zone. A very open player in the middle of the field. Seems like five. The 4 to 5 players are structured around the disc, and then 2 are in the deep space. We're now hearing the screams from matchup defense. Switching from zone. Set up to matchup. As Germany messes are knocking on the doorstep. And there is 2 players, and one of them ends up with the disc in her hands. That could have been a potentially very dangerous situation, but crisis averted early. And they're still in that red zone. Really taking their time, but this time around that disc just a little too far out in front. Germany under 24 looking to punch it in. Schall with space, moving the disc to the other side of the field. And now a high disc. 3 receivers with space underneath them. Space to run into that disc. And Falke comes up with it. So on the other pitches, we have women's matchups. Jet Set Love against Seagulls. The score is currently 2-2. I don't know if I mean, that definitely could be, looking that we have already, on this stream pitch, already seen 17 goals happen. It might just not be the correct score anymore, but it seems to be level. Candy versus the under 20 national teams are currently up 10-5 on them. Bodo and Mainz-Mädchen. Mainz-Mädchen are trailing 4-8, and Frisbee Bears and Scram are 0-0. So probably just not um scoring at the moment. If you want to look at some results or keep up with the scores, you can go to the Disc Days Cologne app. It's disc-days-cologne.web.app, and you can get all your information that is needed to your convenience. Conveniently scoring are the German under 24s, but a pick was called. She was suspiciously open, but on the other hand, it was in the break side, which could potentially also mean that she just made a very, very good cut. But usually it's because of a pick. Well, but that was the exact same throw again. It's good positioning by Milena Kintrup, who made her first real layout on that exact pitch here. This time around, didn't really need a layout, did she? But good for you, Milena. Being able to lay out just makes you so much more valuable as a player, in my opinion. Sounds like Germany are coming out with their zone again. Germany under 24s, that is. And that middle is very open always for the Masters women. They figured that out now, and that's a goal. It's a very quick goal. Great work. 14-5 now. Still in favor of the under 24s national team. So yeah, the under 24 side can still work on that zone, and especially the middle that is always very open. They were able to hit the Masters team was able to hit that over the top shot every single time. But now they're on offense with an opportunity to close out that game. Not many options. Always hitting the middle with big gains of yardage. Another inside shot, very collected by Mueller. Getting her fingers underneath it and putting it into space for the score, and that's game for Germany under 24s. What a commanding performance by the young athletes from Germany. Thank you very much for tuning in. We have more live coverage for you all day, actually, from Cologne in German and English language streams. I hope you enjoyed our coverage today, and we will be back with you soon for more live ultimate in the men's division up next.